This is Characteristic. You already know Character did it. I'm here with Gemini and Apollo. Tell me about yourself, bro. I already know more about Gemini than I do Apollo because we interviewed once, but we just gonna start from the beginning, man. Tell us about yourself.
For sure, bro, for sure. Well, yeah, shit, it's your boy Apollo. You know what I'm saying? I go by Apollo Rarri. One of two in the group, two Hendrixx. You know what I'm saying? Dallas raised, Dallas made. Bro, kind of just starting from the beginning, shit, bro. This will probably be back before, probably when I was like 11, bro. Writing has always been like my thing. Just lyrics and growing up I was like hypersensitive almost, so like I used to like channel that in like my raps and writing or like whatever I was like stressing about, like when I was working at like UPS, like later on type deal, but I always just channeled everything through writing, you know what I'm saying? And I just tried to hone that. Like growing up, J. Cole and Drake were like my main inspirations for like the type of lyricism that I got. Like when you do hear my music and like what I'm talking about, you probably can catch like hints of it in there. Those were like my two like main artists that I like focused on growing up. So when I met my brother, which like this is like my brother, you know what I'm saying? Not blood, but blood would make us no different. Like I'll fight, kill, you know what I'm saying? Like this my blood. If you following what I'm saying. When I met my brother, it was just like destined to be, bro. Like, we met each other at Red Lobster, and just really kicked it off from there, bro. Like it was literally like orientation at Red Lobster. I was just now coming out of like my solo like artistry, but really still kind of coming into myself. And then I met my brother, and he kind of just tossed me this idea about like this group he had, and like he was rocking with my style and thought like we would be like a good match. And man, it was like really just like history from there, bro. Like us just writing verses daily, like getting off the shift at Red Lobster, you know what I'm saying? Whether it's like a terrible shift or a good shift, we're going back to our homeboy's house, writing lyrics for everybody that like we work with, and rapping out lyrics, and it just started to catch on, bro. And like, me and my brother were just like, man, like this can like we can really like do this. You feel me? And kind of from that point, bro, we took it all the way to Houston. We got a show opportunity, like our first show opportunity as a group. Man, we didn't even have money to make it out there. You feel me? Like I'm talking about like we just like flat broke. You feel me? We pawning PlayStations, like our PS4s, pawning those games, clothes, shoes, pawning all of that just to take this trip out to Houston, bro. Which actually was like a whole blessing because we got out there, we killed the performance, met some real cool artists, cool individuals out there that actually got us on with a show at South by Southwest, bro. And that was where it really started to kind of pick up steam. You know what I'm saying? Once we made it out to South by Southwest, and that was straight from Houston. Like we left Houston, did that show out there, drove straight out to Austin, made it in Austin, and shit, it was really just that same thing, bro. Like it's just, we was always networking, always finding out like who we can link with, especially my brother. Like he's like the network king, you know what I'm saying? Like he's just very active, you know what I'm saying, chopping it up with everybody. And next thing, like we know, we got linked in with like this dude from Shaq's record label, K Diddy, K.O., that's his name, K Diddy K.O. We ended up linking up with him, and got on his radio station, and he was like our first outbreak as like a group, like two Hendrixx. Yeah, bro. That was like a lot of starving. You feel me? A lot of like a lot of broke days, really. You feel me? Like several broke days, but we always just kept holding each other accountable. Like no matter how much money we was making, no matter like how down bad it was, like you know, if I'm not the one that's like, hey, bro, like, nah, man, like, all we need to do is da 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 da. It's my brother saying, nah, bro, you know, all we need to do is da 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 da, and like we can get here, like we can do it. We just gotta do it, and that's how we've always held each other accountable, bro. With just making moves, and it's made us like crazy proficient, and just moving around, and like made us into like, you know, the artists we is today.
Hell yeah. Nah, that sounds like y'all have had some really crazy times together for real. Like y'all been on a come up for real. Gemini, I'd like to hear some stories about these shows and all these journeys. Y'all got some crazy stories. I want to hear some of them.
Man, okay, so one crazy story that I can think of off the top of my head would be that so that South by Southwest story. So first, and this is like kind of low-key an embarrassing story for me, but I'm gonna just say it regardless, because whatever, it's here neither here nor there.
It's the truth.
Yeah, it's the truth. It was when I was like a newer artist or whatever. But so we had a show, like first we had like a pre-show in Houston before South by Southwest. You know them little like speed stick deodorants, like whatever that you could buy from the gas station. You know what I'm saying? And like, you know, if you're getting gas station deodorant, you need to get like the women's deodorant, because that's the only one that actually like covers in that funk. Like we drove like all the way to Houston, barely off of no sleep, off of Red Bulls, and like at the time we used to do like pills or whatever, so it was like Exos at the time or whatever, and like we were just like rolling basically just all the way there. And then when we got there, like we started doing the performance, and I was musty the whole performance. Funked up the whole place off of speed stick deodorant.
I'm talking about musty like this wasn't, bro, this wasn't regular musty, like this was like heavy booty. I'm like, yo, brother, like it ain't even supposed to be hitting like that, bro. Like, you feel me? But he went up there and killed that shit, bro. Like he got up in, and like
the audience can't smell him, you know.
Maybe not. You feel me? Like,
maybe not.
You feel me? Like, but he like shit. He, regardless if they did, you know what I'm saying? Like he went up there and like at that time, like he was kicking off a lot of the songs, so like he really brought that energy in that hoe. And you know, shit, he just set the tone, bro. Like and like when that was done, like it was just like it was all over. Like he set the tone, like, you know, I came in backed him up, and like shit, bro, we got like a whole ovation from a crowd we have never met, never been to this city. You know what I'm saying? Got a whole standing ovation. And
I set the tone and set the smell.
His stinky ass killed it, bro. His stinky ass killed it.
Right. The bar level was set in many different ways and many different smell levels. And and then like, so right after that, we used to be a group. When I first met Apollo, Rarri, like we were a group. I was in a previous group called VHS. It was actually like, I think it was like 4 of us. And long story short, I met Apollo, and we like condensed. We condensed from being like a big group to just us two. But we still had one more person in our group. His name was Gelato. And right after that, we drove from Houston because they told us about the show in Austin for South by Southwest. So we drove from Houston to Austin the very next day. And when we got to Austin, the guy who was in our group, his name was Gelato, he didn't have his ID. So we couldn't even get into any of the clubs that we went out there to perform in. Oh. So we drove all the way from Austin and dropped him back off in Dallas and drove back to Austin. And mind you, we were just servers at a restaurant, so we didn't have very much money at the time. And
that's a lot of gas.
Yeah, we had a faulty tire. So we only had like $30-$40 left in our name. We had like a faulty tire. The tire shop like blessed us a cheap tire just off the love of our mission. They blessed us a tire. And like another crazy thing, like that whole story just in general was crazy. They blessed us a tire, and then we flew. So the only reason why we had enough money to like survive in Austin for South by Southwest is because we sold our PlayStations to be out there. This was when the PS4 was out. We both sold our PlayStation 4s to like have enough money to survive out there in Austin, and we sold it to the most jankiest looking dude. Didn't even know if we were really gonna get our money.
This was like trip ever, bro. Like this was like in the country of like Austin or something like that, bro. Met him on Offer Up, bro. Like I thought we would possibly get like murdered or like hit something like that. And this man some place.
That's wild, bro, man. That's wild, bro. Apollo, can you think of any other stories?
Yeah, bro. So let me see. Yes, that one. Man, another one. This was like our very first performance, and you know, like we had like this third member, Gelato. That's my boy. But that man was so rough around the edges when we were starting off that like it was just like it would be like crazy uncouth moments with him. And like with like, you know, somebody prestigious, you know what I'm saying? And they're like, oh,
No.
like, we like, you know, it's nice to meet you guys. And like, it's like, oh shit, what's up, nigga? And it's just like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's our partner. Like we're in a group together. And this performance at this spot called Expo Bar, bro. And you know, this is like our first performance. It wasn't nothing crazy. You know, it was a sufficient amount of people there, but it wasn't nothing crazy. And, you know, we're going up to perform, like it's all three of us, we say like a prayer, and then like this like meaningful prayer. You know what I'm saying? So we're like holding hands in the circle. We're like, hey, hope we go out here, da 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 da. We go up there. Gelato fucking just like sits back. Like it's like a floor. It's like me, Gemini, and Gelato. But back here, there isn't no spotlight. They just kind of got the spotlight up here. He's so like shy about like stepping forward, and we just had like this whole huge powwow outside. Like, oh, bro, we about to kill it. He's like, yeah, bro, like we about to go up there. We're about to do our thing. Da 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 da. And this man just falls. Man, I'm gonna show you the video. I'm gonna send you. I still got the video to this day, bro. I'll send you the video. He just falls back, and so he has like a real heavy voice, bro. And like the main part of the song, when it was kind of getting to the chorus part, it was actually my verse. He's like rapping like excessively loud. Like me telling the story don't even do it justice, bro. It's like this like excessive voice that's just like in the background rapping over the lyrics. Like I can't hear myself, and he's not even like, you don't even see him on stage type shit. And it's like where, like who, like is that him saying that? I'm like, bro, and I'm trying to like signal Gelato come up here, but doesn't. Damn near the whole performance outside of him and his verse, which he still didn't even fully step up there. But that was just the beginning, bro. We had an interview after that with this radio station, and when I say this man got up there, I'm talking about like on some like Suge Knight, like grab the mic and just like, yeah, bitch, we up in here, da 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 da.
Yeah. He had no media training whatsoever. Like he was very like raw. Like we were in like Apollo's like grandpa, like not grandpa, like his dad's like barbershop, and like he was like, and it's like one of them like old school, like, I know, have you ever seen that movie Barbershop?
Oh,
like
yeah.
with
Oh, yeah.
Ice
Oh,
Cube?
yeah.
Yeah, it's like one of those. It's like one of those old school, like soulful type barbershops where his aunt is in the corner, like doing hair. His dad is over there, like cutting hair. Like it's one of them like family environment.
Right. No
Like
doubt.
it's
No
not one
doubt.
of
Yeah.
those. He goes in there and he's just cussing up a storm like in front of everybody, and it's just like, and they were just all just like kind of just looking at him like, who brought this guy in here, you know? It just and you know, we ended up releasing him from the group just because like he just wasn't good for like branding purposes. He just wasn't good for branding. And then another like we've just like two Hendrixx all together as a group. We've been through a lot of like ups and downs as a group. We have a lot of crazy stories of like just, you know, how I was telling you about the manager situation, how we ended up having to pay somebody $500 a month just to manage us, and we were the one like, you know, bringing all the talent and all the show to them. And then another situation that we had was there was this other manager that was like, or like label that was like looking at us, and like me and my brother ended up getting into a fight about like just particular like if we should like mess with this guy, you know. Yeah. And you know, come to find out, like the artists that he did have up under him, like, you know, he ended up like taking them through a whole whirlwind as well. So, you know, we ended up dodging a bullet with that. But it's just the principle of like, you know, the stuff that we've gone through to even get to where we are today. That's why we are so blessed and thankful for where we are. You know, that's why we're so happy about, you know, the success that we're getting on like our newer projects. And we haven't like, we're just previewing the songs. We haven't even dropped the songs yet. The songs are not even out yet, and people are just going crazy. It's just crazy reception, you know, for it. So it's just, you know, it just takes a lot of hard work. You know, a lot of people, they don't see what it took for you to get to where you are. They just see the results, you know, of the current results, but they're not going to remember the times where two Hendrixx was sleeping in the car, sleeping in the Cobalt, sleeping in the F-150. Like, they're not going to remember those times. All they're going to remember is two Hendrixx with the Mercedes Benz. They're just going to think about two Hendrixx going to Jamaica, two Hendrixx doing stuff like that. Like, that's all they remember about two Hendrixx. You know, they see the success that we have now, but don't even remember what it took for us to get here, you know. Nah, and all the hard work for us to just even be in contact with you, be in contact with other cover art, the cover art guy, or just being in some of those engagement groups that we're in, or just whatever. Like, you know, that takes a lot of networking to get in. That stuff literally feels like a secret society that you literally have to work for your place to be in, you know. And people, what I've noticed is like, you know, it's really like a family environment in there, and you have to put in the same energy that they're giving you. You have to put out that same energy to them in order for them to reciprocate, and in order for you to receive the correct results that you're supposed to receive. A lot of people, what I've noticed, who sometimes people get kind of selfish in there. And when they get selfish, you know, they don't receive the same results. So it's all just that energy. It's kind of like that energy theory. It's about the energy that you put in is the same energy that you receive out, you know. And the more, you know, I know we're like newer to the party. I know we're newer to the team and to the family, but I'm glad that, you know, even with us being like newer additions to there, like they see our value, and they see what we bring to the table. So you know, I know that kind of sounds like we're in the Illuminati, but I promise, guys, we're not.
It's funny. Nah, hey, bro, I got my first message inviting me to the Illuminati today on Instagram, so I've made it. But I feel like Apollo has something he wants to say. Okay, I'm sorry. It looked like you had, like, you were trying to say something, but tell me about where the name comes from.
You said what, broski?
Tell me about where the name comes from.
To Hendrixx, man. It came from this one night. You know, we were just like, I wouldn't say down and out, but I would say down and out. And, you know, we had come to like this weird like impasse between like, you know, our previous group of like VHS, and then like rebranding ourselves, since it had been like so long and we had been so stagnant. We wanted to just like rebrand ourselves and like rename ourselves. And I don't even remember, it just literally just like came to like the top of my head. I was just like just as simple as that, just like I was like how about To Hendrixx? Like we were sitting outside the club, like we went inside the club and we're walking around the club, and it just didn't feel good. Like being in the club, putting up this facade like, oh yeah, we're artists and we've been stagnant for like forever. And it was just like a hit. I wouldn't say like to the ego, definitely, but it just like hit us in this certain spot where it was like, okay, are we gonna do this or are we not gonna do this? Because like, you know, like these stagnant moments, like, you know, like it's like it's a make or break type of thing. So yeah, we were just sitting in the car, man, just having like one of our talks, like holding each other accountable type deal that I had mentioned earlier. And you know, I just brought it to my brother. I'm like, you know, why don't we try like To Hendrixx? You know what I'm saying? And he was like, I'm fucking with that. Like, I'm fucking with that. I'm like, okay. I'm like, bet. Like, it's got a ring to it. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, you know, like that very next song that we ended up dropping, that I think we wrote that night, our song called Guwap, that you can find. It's on like iTunes, you know, all streaming platforms. This song called Guwap that we did. And, you know, at the very beginning of that video, it's like kind of like a interpretation of that moment that we had in the car. Like my brother's like, bro, I want to be this, I want to be that, and I want to be this, and I want to be that. Like, but like we need a name type deal. So we kind of brought that moment back and kind of put that into the video. Like, you know, the viewers wouldn't be able to tell the sentimental value behind it, but you know, that's what we got this moment here for, to kind of break that down.
For sure, bro. And I'll put a reel out with the video ending that, for sure. Everybody will understand now. So yeah, why, bro? Gemini and Apollo?
You want to kick it off, brother?
Why Gemini and Apollo? So Gemini where that came from was like, when I first like started rapping, my name used to be Vibes. It used to be Vibes 100. But like every time that I would tell somebody my name was Vibes, nobody would ever remember it. So like nobody would ever remember it. Like it genuinely feels like, you know, I like, cause you know, that's my older brother. Every time I introduce people to my older brother, I'm like, yeah, that's my older brother. It genuinely feels like, you know, sometimes like I'm like living in the shadow of this guy. Like Apollo, they'd be like, oh, there goes Apollo, and they'd be like, oh yeah, and your brother, you know what I'm saying? They ask Apollo, they'd be like, oh yeah, just your brother. And I'm like, they never remember Vibes. So like, I'm just like, you know, I tried to, you know, we came up with something that was more so like something that like would stick, you know what I'm saying? And like the zodiac sign thing stuck. Like a girl gave me the idea, and like I've just been running with it since. So yeah, Gemini, that's where Gemini came from. Where did Apollo come from?
Bro, Apollo, I've low-key I've always like gone by Apollo, probably since like around like 2013 type deal, and that was like well before like we had kicked everything off. I used to go by Young Apollo. And me, like, I've always been into Greek mythology. Always into like Greek mythology, Egyptian mythology. You know what I'm saying? I got Anubis like on my forearm. You know what I'm saying? So I've been into it heavy. But Greek mythology, I was real heavy into at the time. And you know, I forgot what I was looking at, but I just so happened to kind of be looking through like the Greek gods and what their abilities was one day, and I was just like, at my grandmother's house in Oak Cliff, which is like the slums in Dallas. And I'm like, just trying to think of something, bro. And I'm just like, damn, what can I go by? And, I saw Apollo in there, and I was like, kind of saw his attributes and, like who he is. And it just resonated. It just resonated with me. How I am, how I conduct myself, how I'm like interacting with people. And I was like, I think I'm gonna try that. Like, I'm gonna try Apollo. And I didn't want to go by Lil, because like there was like Lil Wayne and stuff, and like a whole bunch of Lils out there at that time. So I was like, I'll probably just like throw a Young in front of it and just go by like Young Apollo. And then, when I met my brother, and we kind of revamped a little bit, I forgot where I got the Rarri from. It was just like a spontaneous thing. I was like, I'm just gonna add Rarri on my name. Like, it just sounds like, it's just hitting for some reason. I was like, bro, I'm gonna go by Apollo Rarri now. You know what I'm saying? And
it
like,
rolls off
just
the tongue for sure.
Yeah, bro. It kind of rolls off the tongue. And I was like, bro, yeah, I think I'm rocking with that, bro. Gemini and Apollo, like, it just like, that's perfect.
Yeah, it just fits together real well. The full name of my name is actually supposed to be like Gemini the Rockstar, but like I never like put the Rockstar part behind it. I just go by Gemini. I feel like, Apollo Rarri like rolls off the tongue and it's like real short, like it just goes. And bro, I feel like Gemini the Rockstar is just long. Like,
if that was your tag, that's a lot of typing every time you want to share it. Yeah, bro, that's too much.
Yeah,
that's too much.
Yeah. So I just like Gemini better. Like just keep it at Gemini, But Gemini is such like a common, like Apollo Rarri is not as common as Gemini. So like I have to like work around like to get my tag like on Instagram, like I had to put like 2 eyes in official just to make it like, be able to grab it so I could have that username,
Right.
I feel that, bro. I feel that. Maybe you'll find your second name later, it's no rush. It'll all happen organically,
Yeah.
Right.
So there's some things I asked you before Gemini that I'm gonna ask y'all again because I want to hear your response together. But what have been your biggest accomplishments?
Man, one of them definitely was big shout out to our homeboy Trevo. You know what I'm saying? Trevo behind the whole Liddy Land gang. Trevo, the whole Liddy Land gang, whole Liddy Land gang. Man, bro, like really blessed our game. And like he's very lit. Like he's like in the city of Dallas, like even outside of Dallas, like he's just very lit. Like he throws like crazy huge parties, like Glorilla,
hey, brother.
Party.
Hey, brother, my bad. Cause like he can edit this real quick. He can edit it like to get it like all together. Can you just shout out Trevo one more time so I can get that on the phone video camera?
Oh,
like
bet.
All right, go ahead one more time.
Yeah. Big shout out to our partner Trevo. You know what I'm saying? Trevo, the whole Liddy Land gang, the whole Liddy Land campaign, everything Liddy. You feel me? Like big shout out to bro, cause he really put us on. You know what I'm saying? Like he may not even know that shit, but like he like really put us on with like that performance. Like, cause I forgot who was coming that year. I knew Cardi B popped out, Mo3 popped out. 10K Cash, like he like the dude that invented the woe, you know what I'm saying? He was and like his whole campaign, I think it was BTB Savage, rest in peace to bro, you know what I'm saying? He was there, him and his campaign. It was a lot of motion at this party, and you know what I'm saying? You kind of heard like where we was coming from as far as our motion, like we had some, but it wasn't like nothing crazy. And somehow, I don't remember if it was me or if it was my brother. We just ended up linking up with Trevo in the DMs, and he was like, oh, what's up? And then wouldn't respond for like 3 days. And like,
that's
wouldn't respond,
bro. That's how it be.
Bro, and it was just like, bro, and I'm telling my brother, I'm like, bro, we possibly, I'm already trying to speak it into the universe. I'm like, bro, we possibly on with this like Liddy Land performance, bro. It's gonna be like over 4,000 people at this pool party, like a huge stage, a lot of eyes, bro. Like we could possibly get this. And then, Trevo hit me back and he was like, bro, I can get y'all in for a slot. You know what I'm saying? Like I can get you in for a slot for free. for free. He did this for free. Over 4,000 people. Like he did this off of the love, bro. And it was just like, you know, I got the message back to my brother. I'm like, bro, like Trevo said, like, we can perform here, bro. Like, we can actually perform here. And that was probably one of like the craziest moments that we've had, because I'll show you that video too. It's our very first like huge performance. You know what I'm saying? You can see the crowd and everything. And that was like our first like big wave that we had made, was performing at that venue, bro. And that just felt like a crazy accomplishment. Like I still remember our ride home, you know, us just like giddy, you know what I'm saying? Like just like, it's my brother, like just at the fact, I'm like, bro, what we just did is like crazy. Like, and he did it off of love for the free. And there was just like so many people there, bro. It was just a blessing, man. Like that was definitely one of the many like groundbreaking accolades, man, that I say that we was like blessed to achieve.
Hell yeah. No, I feel that, bro. I feel that, man. Gemini, what you got to add?
Man, you know, honestly, that was literally the story that I was gonna tell about doing the performance in front of like 4,000 people. It was so crazy. Trevo literally packed out a ranch, like a big ranch style open pool area like thing.
Damn, bro, that's so cool.
Yeah, bro, and this kid is like younger than us. Like he has to be like just barely turning 21, 22 or something. Like he's young packing out these places. And like that has to be one of our biggest accomplishments. But like you know, just our greatest, I feel like our greatest accomplishments, and I think I said this last time, but you know, just our networking skills. You know, just able to like how many famous artists and how many famous people that we've interacted with, you know, just in our young career of being artists, with no label, with no like major promotion, with like our Spotify numbers. You know, we don't have crazy numbers on paper, but like our background numbers are crazy as far as like who we reach and who we interact with. I mean, from Waka Flocka to there's this artist out in Dallas called Lil Ronnie. There's these like midget girls from like Little Big Planet or something like that we've interacted with. Jill Marie Jones from like Girlfriends. Like I don't even think people have realized like some of the people who we've actually like, you know, like how far and how deep our connects go. It's just crazy, and we just do this all off the strength of our mouth. Like it's not even like a, you know, people just enjoy talking to us and enjoy being around us, you know. And you know, Erica Banks, like Yella Beezy, like a lot of like Dallas legends we came in contact, interacted with, been in their section, like, you know, hung out with them, you know, partied with them. We got this famous, like, we know this famous bodyguard who's like who's Boosie's like bodyguard and things of that nature. Like, you know, we just expand, our network just expands so far. We just have really far reach, and that's my proudest moment of us. You know, it's just that even with the little bit of resources that we do have, we might not have the biggest bag, we might not have the biggest music spins, we might not have the biggest playlist or the biggest fan base. But even with that small like amount that we do got, we make it stretch, and it puts us in the positions where, you know, artists just now starting out, or artists at our level, you know, wish that they were at, you know, stuff that they wish they've done, and we've already accomplished it without a major feature, without a major, you know, backing, without a major, you know, just being next to Waka Flocka. It was Waka Flocka and Trap Boy Freddy, you know, at one, like, just together. And like, I'm talking about, like, I was like standing right next to them when they were taking pictures. How did that happen? Okay, so we were so basically we used to be club promoters, right? And like Waka Flocka came to the club, and he was with Trap Boy Freddy. Trap Boy Freddy's a local like Dallas artist. And like I was talking to my brother and I was telling him, I was like, hey bro, like, hey, I'm gonna be next to Waka Flocka. Like I was like, man, we're celebrities, like we don't have to be up here, like we're gonna get next to Waka Flocka. So, you know, my brother, he was like agreeing with me, but that it just felt far-fetched because it's like, this is Waka Flocka, like you're not gonna be next to Waka Flocka. And then out of nowhere, like I was like, man, I'm just gonna go do it. I got down, like we were standing up on top because, like, you know, being club promoters, we were able to like do more access area stuff like that. We were standing up on like I guess like tables and stuff, like standing up on the chairs and stuff. And I was just like, man, I'm just about to go down there. I went down there and like I was like literally in the section, like right next to him, like I belong, like I belonged, like I got in there. I got in there.
I looked over. He's like, bro, come on, like, let's just go. And I'm like, already, like me, I'm a little bit more laid back. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, all right, bet, like, let's go slide over there. But like in my heart of hearts type shit, I'm like,
you're not trying to go, bro.
You know what I'm saying? And then I'm like turning, I do a full circle on the table, and I turn around and I see my brother's face, like I literally like locked eyes with him, like in a crowd full of people. He's like, and he's like 2 feet away from Waka Flocka, bro. He's like, I'm like, bro, how the fuck did you get down there so fast, bro? And he was just meshing at that point, bro. Like the cameras are flashing and shit. I'm like, damn, bro, like, hey, I can dig it, brother. I can dig it.
Hey, and to add on to your crazy story, cause like to add on to that crazy story, there was a cameraman that walked right in front of us, like me, Waka Flocka, Trap Boy Freddy. He took a picture, and tell me why my face was halfway cut off of the photo. It literally looks like I photoshopped myself in the picture when I was genuinely there with Waka Flocka. I gotta show you. I gotta show you the picture afterwards. I gotta show you the picture because maybe we can even edit this in the video to where like
it'll be in there, bro. Say less. It's in there.
So it shows that they look like they photoshopped me with Waka Flocka, and I was genuinely there. I was genuinely there, like that, and that was like my, you know what they say, like the evil villain arc story, like how your evil villain arc story starts. That's how my evil villain arc story started, getting cropped out of a photo with Waka Flocka, getting cropped out. I don't even know how he missed me like in the picture, because me and Waka, like it's not like I'm telling you, Chris, it's not like I was like behind Waka Flocka, or it's not like I was like far. I was literally like, it was like bumping right shoulder to shoulder with Waka Flocka. You know what I'm saying? Like Waka Flocka was literally talking to me, like they were having their arms like around me, like I was just a part of the group. You know what I'm saying? And like, and I got cut out of the picture with Waka Flocka. There's
I'm gonna Photoshop myself in place of you in that picture for the real, bro.
You should.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, that'd be funny.
You should. That's the most crazy. Yeah, go ahead. My bad.
So other than people not believing your biggest accomplishments, what have been the biggest obstacles you've had to overcome?
Yeah. And
I think ourselves.
Ourselves, man, like that was one part of the battle, because you know with groups, you know, like you gotta be on one page. And that's what I was always thankful for. Like even the times that me and my brother weren't on the same page, like I always had the capacity in me to like heed what he was saying, because like he's like he's like overthinking. I wouldn't say overthinking, overanalyzing. Like he analyzes a lot and like has to break it down, this and that. I used to see that as like pessimistic, you know what I'm saying? Because I operate purely off of just like good energy. Like, no, this is gonna happen. Impulse. This is gonna. So when me and him would kind of have like our powwows, it would like slightly clash, and then we would like regroup, you know what I'm saying? And like we're like, okay, like we're literally saying the same thing. Like I'm not saying this, you're not saying that, like we're on the same page type deal. So like ourselves, man, other managers, bro, that was trying to just like, we met some genuine people along the way, but just throwing a monkey wrench like randomly in the operation, bro. Like, we're thinking we're kind of moving this certain way, and then, he's got a pyramid scheme going on in the background, and like we just did all of this groundwork to support a pyramid scheme, bro. And we're thinking that this is gonna be like our transition, like out of here. Managers, ourselves, man, even like people close to us, you know what I'm saying? Like just moving weird on like different timing and man, but I would probably say like ourselves was like the biggest thing for like the longest, like, cause nothing was gonna stop us, but like except ourselves, like, and that's what we had to like just kind of like as the years just kind of like went on, like it just got more and more and more like cohesive. Like we were already cohesive, but it got even more cohesive. So yeah, bro, we just ended up like really kind of ironing that wrinkle out.
Facts. And I completely agree with him. It mainly sometimes we're our own worst enemies, because as artists we're very sensitive over the product that we put out, and like I feel like that like somewhat hinders some of like us producing, because we kind of put out music a little bit on the slower end, and I feel like that hinders some of our music output production, because like we're so self-conscious about like the product that we put out, that for people to enjoy. We don't want to put out a song that gets like bad reviews or things of that nature, even though like that's just part of the musical process, and like he was saying, he's more of like an impulse type of guy, and I'm more of like a too deep of like an analytical thinker type of dude. And and sometimes like being analytical and deep thinking is a positive, but then sometimes it's a negative, because like we're going like it slows down the whole process. When sometimes when you just go by the wind, we could just been knocked out a lot of stuff. I just get so critical and analyze about a lot of stuff, because the music industry is a very grimy, unregulated, scandalous industry, and everybody is just out for money regardless, and there's nothing wrong with that. Everybody wants the bread, but artists, we necessarily don't always have the bread to continue to always have to just give out 35 here, 100 here, 200 here, 1,000 here, 400 here. It's just money everywhere. So it's kind of like we have to be more like cautious just about where I'm giving my $35 to, or where I'm giving my $40 to, because anybody can put out a product and say that they delivered to somebody, but is that product a quality product before you delivered it? So, and then there's a lot of scammers out here as well that just take your money, say they're going to deliver, and they don't deliver. And I'm pretty sure everybody's had a story with that when dealing with Instagram. It's like no matter how cautionary you are, no matter how much research you feel like you've done on somebody, they can still take your money, or they could still pull the bamboozle over your eyes. So that's why we just really nowadays we just really try to focus on trying to meet genuine people that are actually beneficial to growth, because we understand that we have like a larger following on Instagram. We understand it, but we just try to make sure that we don't try to work with people who we feel like are trying to take advantage of that following base, and it's a give and take system. You're like the lower follower base are benefiting off of us, but it's also what are we benefiting off of y'all, and some things that kind of rub me the wrong way about like lower following base is that they want too much for what they provide. It's like we're doing you almost more of a favor than what you're kind of doing us, you know. So it's like you want $300 just to do this, so and so, when we are the ones bringing you all of the energy and the attention and the media. And that point circulates back to the management situation where we were paying the manager $500 to manage us, and it's like we're bringing you everything. You know, you're not really bringing us anything. You're putting us in the back of a shitty ass strip club.
Right.
You know.
Right.
You're actually taking away from our momentum. And we're basically caught in like I would say like a pyramid scheme / Ponzi scheme kind of thing, because like what he would do is he would get artists. So he would have his one main artist that he would focus on, and then he would get artists under, like he would have the artists bring in more artists basically, and take the money from the artists that they're paying him and put it into the higher artists, and then whoever the higher artist was at the time was the one who he would put the money into. And you know, he had some talented artists, but
sure. But it doesn't matter. It's not, you know, it's all about him.
Yeah. So it was just like, you know, because we didn't have the money at the time, we just didn't get any of the attention, you know. Even though we would produce the better songs, even though we would bring the most people, we would bring fans to the club, and we would bring the artists to perform. So we were bringing in both areas and both avenues, yet we were still getting treated like trash. And it's like, that's why money, like that's why the music industry really needs like some type of regulation, but I don't even know how they will be able to regulate that. They've already tried to kind of regulate it with the money situation, but it's just too hard to regulate where the money is all coming from. But you know, that's why, you know, the music industry just kind of leaves a bad taste in a lot of like artists' mouth, because you know, they realize how dirty of a game this is once they finally get into it. Once you get past the initial like, oh, I'm getting like all these people interacting with me, and you actually get to see like the back inside of it, you know, it somewhat makes you not even want to be an artist anymore, because of all of the hoops and everything that you got to jump through just to even get your music to where it wants to go, and how many shoulders and how many hands you have to rub with, and how many people tell you that they like you but never support you, or just like, you know, just you get a million no's just to hope to get that one yes. Yep. You know, so, but you know, but again, we're just our own worst enemies. You know, just to wrap it back in, we're just our own worst enemies, and we have to continue to keep grinding just to make that breakthrough, because we're clearly going on the right track. We're clearly on the right track. It's just about continuing to work to get to where we want to be, and continue to work with genuine people like you, like some of the groups that we're in. You know, just continue to choose the people, you know, start to develop a team that works for us, because the people who succeed are the people with the strongest teams. You know, it comes from many different avenues. The artist making the music is just 1% of what you need to be a famous and successful artist. It's all about the team that you work with and the connections that you make with the people along the way. Because one wrong move and one wrong step, or one feeling like you're bigger than what you are, can completely derail your whole career. So you just always want to cherish every single moment and stay humble. Just stay humble with every single moment and appreciate every single moment. Even from the moment of the Travo thing, that was probably one small moment. He's probably through 10,000 more parties since then, you know, but we appreciate that one moment, and we continue to shout him out for that one moment, because that one moment helped us believe that maybe we can be in front of 4,000 people and still rock out a party, you know. And you know, in moments like interviews like this and other interviews that we have, you know, we're always going to appreciate those moments, because those moments, you know, it's like it's like glimpses of like star power and like, okay, this is like, you can make this happen, you know, like you just
Thanks,
gotta
bro.
keep putting in good energy. Like you keep putting in good energy, what you put in is what you get out of it, you know. And always remain humble and always cherish, you know, just cherish the moments that you're in, you know. And so definitely that's all I got to say, man.
No,
That's it.
absolutely, bro.
That's it.
Hey man, I know I'm a
Yo, but
walking highlight reel. I
but
know
not
I'm a
no, but
walking
look, honestly, like it's
it's
funny
gonna go
that you said
crazy. Yeah.
it's funny you said the last thing you said, because that is going back to what you're talking about, sleeping in the Cobalt and the F-150. I've always called those, way before I started the interview thing, years before I started the interview thing. I've always called those interview moments, because those are the moments that when you make it big, and you tell those stories. Man, I remember sleeping in the little Cobalt coupe at the back of a show when we were trying to get to the net. Those are the moments that are going to inspire the people that are doing those things now, wondering if it's worth it. And you'll be the ones that let them know it's worth it.
Bro, that's facts, bro. It's totally worth it. It all just depends on what you're doing with the time that you got. You know what I'm saying? Like, because that's all we were just trying to do. We were just trying to make the most out of what we had. And if that meant like we're driving all the way to Austin, we're selling our PlayStations, we're only eating honey buns and Debbie cakes for a week. Yeah. You feel me? Like, that's just what we're gonna do. And we're like, you know, like that's what has to happen if we are trying to get to this point that we need to. And it definitely ended up like happening, bro. Like, cause going back to what we were just talking about, like you get what you put in. And regardless of us being broke and, you know, not having too much of nothing outside of just our talent, bro, it was just like game changing.
Yeah,
like,
and I mean that the crappy situations that we were in almost broke us. You know what I'm saying? Like we went dormant. Like our last album that we dropped, Two Hendrixx Drop, came out like in 2019. So we definitely went dormant. We've dropped like maybe like 2 songs since that album. But people, when we get like fan mail or when we get like, you know, people texting us, they're telling us they're still spinning our music from 2019, you know. And that almost, the situation that we got into with our managers and things of that nature, that almost hindered Two Hendrixx from being where they are now, you know. So where we are now, and that's why, like, for artists, the best advice that I can just give out is, you know, just never forget that love that you had for it when you first started. You know, if you continue to hold on to that love, you'll always find something positive, even when you're in the worst situation. And all those bad situations that you got yourself in, you know, it's temporary. You know, you can always find a way out of it. You can always find a way to push yourself back into the right direction. There's this artist on Instagram. He has a buzz. I don't know if he's signed or not, but he does like shows in like his backyard or something. I think his name is L.A. Russell.
Oh, yeah.
L.A. Russell. He has this one song and he's like something. I lost 15. He's like, I threw my own show. I lost 1,500 at the dough. So and he's like, so, you know, he's like, that's just how it goes or something.
You
like
felt that in your soul, bro. You felt that in your soul.
Yeah, I felt that in my soul, because it's like he's basically just saying, like, you know, like he's basically just saying, like, you know, we go through our downs.
This the journey. This the journey.
Yeah, but you take those L's.
Damn right.
You take those L's to get to where you are now. You know what I'm saying? Those L's is what builds you to be who you are. Yeah. You know, I owned a trucking company. I failed at my trucking company. You know, my trucking company doesn't run anymore, whatever. But that didn't stop me. That's not stopping me from potentially opening up another company, opening up another business, and continue to move forward. People don't remember when Mark Cuban used to sell milk cartons on the ground. He used to sleep on the couch at his friend's house, and he used to sell milk cartons. and now he's a freaking multimillionaire on Shark Tank. And how he got there is because he didn't give up. You know what I'm saying? That's what makes or breaks like the people who are going to be great in life. Everybody's not made to be great in life, you know, but if you keep those same characteristics, that it doesn't matter where you start off from, it matters where you end up at. You can always succeed. You know what I'm saying? You'll always find a way to make it in life. So that's just one big takeaway that I want to give to artists, you know, that are trying to live their dreams. You know, it's not about how you start. It's not even about the middle part of it. The only part that anybody's gonna ever remember is the end part of it. They just want to see the movie at the end. They just want to see how you're living. You know, they just want to see the Mercedes at the end. They don't care about the Cobalt at the beginning. So sometimes you just gotta sleep in the Cobalt. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you just have to make sacrifices. But once you get that Mercedes, everybody's gonna love you. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. So stay humble in the same time as well. Stay humble.
All right, so y'all ain't dropped an album since 19. I gotta ask, what do y'all got coming up?
Man, we got a whole album. Called it's called 2 Hendrixx.
But
it's abbreviated 2HXX.
Right.
And man, this has been the collection of everything we've been working on while we've been dormant. You know, I'm talking about straight pressure, like songs that like I knew like one day like we would be able to make, like when we were going to the studio originally, like when we first met, and like, you know, those songs were just like, you know, they were what they were, but they got us to the point where we were able, it's just like building blocks where we just kept this song, next song, and they're just always getting better. So like, man, we got a collection of just like straight heat from probably from around that time period to all the way up until now, 2023, 22. And yeah, bro, it's just like, it's that time. Like we got a marketing team behind us, you know, got like a label behind us, and we're able to actually like make some motion. Like we're actually, you know, instead of like lateral motion, we're actually able to like make this wave and get it out there. And like folks are like crazy receptive to it for everything that we've seen here lately in regards to it, man. And it's just been like a blessing because it all was supposed to work out like that, you know. And I know artists out there, you probably got a period of like, you know, like shit, life is just hitting you, bro. And like, it's just like, damn, I can't go record today. Or like, damn, I was like recording and I was writing this and I was writing that. It's like, you know, it happens, you feel me? But like my brother was saying, like, long as you're not losing that passion and that drive and that hunger that made you love it in the first place, it don't matter if you got to go work this job or that job, because you got that hunger in you to know that I'm doing this to get here. I'm doing what I have to so I can do what I want.
Facts, bro. Facts, man. And I feel like both of y'all have dropped so many of these already that I don't know if you have anymore, but if you do, before we end this, I would love to hear any sentiment that you would have for any person, any artist, anyone listening, watching right now, some life lesson that you've learned, some piece of advice that you have, both of you.
Gotcha. Bro, I would say stay true to you, bro. Like, I know that's like a watered down statement, but it's crazy valid. Like, stay true to you and, you know, what you value. Like, don't let outside opinion, because especially now, like, it's even more predominant thing now, just like in the world. Don't let outside opinion, like, oh, bro, like, that's lame. Like, why you trying to... Don't even like let that like get in your head. Like, I mean, I almost would even say like me personally, I don't even tell people like, unless it's my brother, what my vision is, because I don't need the pessimistic even entering my mind. Like, it's like if they're not on the same path as you to the greatness wherever you trying to go, you know, hey, we love them, but like that's not their path. You know what I'm saying? Just try to align yourself with people that's like-minded and wants that same amount of greatness as you, is what I would say.
Preach that, bro. Preach that.
I'm thinking mine probably would be, I know I done said like 10,000 of them already, but mine probably would be, hold on, okay, let me sit up. I got you. All
I'm gonna
right,
sit up with you. I'm gonna sit up with you. We're gonna do it together. Let's go. I'm ready. I'm ready now.
All right, ready. All right. So my advice to artists would be like that. Stay true to yourself, but mine would just be like a little bit of a twist spin. Don't try to cater to the market. Don't try to spin the type of music that you make. Don't try to spin that to what you hear on the radio. Try to break out your own sound and start a new wave. Yes, Travis Scott might sound good, but just because Travis Scott sounds good with all the auto-tune and everything, that doesn't mean that you'll sound good using the same auto-tune effect plugins that Travis Scott uses. So just stay true to yourself. You don't have to be the next Drake. You don't have to be, as far as sound wise, you don't have to sound like Drake. You don't have to sound like Lil Durk. You don't have to sound like Gunna. Just sound like yourself and be Gunna. Like, be Lil Durk. Because at one point, Lil Durk's sound wasn't there. At one point, Gunna's sound wasn't there. At one point, Two Hendrixx sound wasn't there. But now Two Hendrixx sound is here. Now Gunna's sound is here. Now Lil Baby sound is here. So just be true to yourself. When 2 Chainz first came out, he went by Titty Boy, and he had that song Duffel Bag Boy with Lil Wayne. And when people first heard his sound, like, it was kind of like a goofy, hard country rap. Like, he would say some wild bars that make everybody laugh. And he stayed true to his like sound, and that's when he became 2 Chainz. And 2 Chainz like took over like a whole generation of rappers. And Young Thug, when Young Thug first came out, Young Thug, we couldn't even understand half the crap Young Thug was saying on the radio. And now when you hear him, you understand everything that he's saying, and he could go into his highest pitch of voice, and you're just like, man, that slides. Like, I understood exactly what he's saying. So at the end of the day, just stay true to the sound that you want to make and break in the industry. Just perfect crafting the sound that you want to make and make it into a good song. Like, just, if you have a light voice, just rap with a light voice. You ain't got to try to make your voice deeper. If you have a deep voice, just stay with the deep voice and just make it sound good radio quality music. That's all that matters. As long as it sounds good and it's good radio quality and we enjoy the song, how you sound, I guess, doesn't really matter. You just have to sound good on the track. And I feel like that's where people need to focus on more, instead of being like, I want to sound like Lil Durk. Instead of being like, I want to sound like Lil Durk, work on sounding like the best version of yourself, and the rest will come. The rest will come.
Promise you.
Man, I love everything y'all have said in this interview, for real. It's been golden advice. It's been golden words. I can't wait to see where the 2 Hendrixx go, for real. I appreciate y'all's time so much. This has been an incredible episode of Characterized It with Gemini and Apollo, who make up the 2 Hendrixx. I appreciate y'all. I will see y'all next time. Peace up.
That'll be easy.
Peace.